vitamin B12 can mean fatigue, neuropathy, mood changes. Fortified foods help, but supplementation is usually very necessary. Hi friends, Dr. Cooper here at In Harmony Functional Medicine, home of the Harmony Way, where we are cultivating a climate for wellness. And so maybe you have decided recently that you want to become vegetarian, and that's fantastic. Kudos to you for making some life changes. Most people who are on a vegetarian diet, they have lower inflammation, improved cardiovascular health, and they have a lighter environmental footprint. But here's the truth that most folks discover the hard way. You can be vegetarian and still be undernourished or chronically tired and struggling with gut issues. So today I want to show you the most common pitfalls for vegetarians and how to fix them safely. First, credit where it's due. Shifting to a whole food diet usually means more fiber, more polyphenols, fewer ultra-processed meats. Many people feel better initially, bringing their blood sugar down, improving digestion, and they can feel lighter. But after that honeymoon phase, some start to notice that fatigue, the brain fog, the brittle nails, the hair that's shedding, mood changes or bloating. You might also start noticing, in addition to the nutrient gap, bioavailability issues or gut tolerance problems that have to be addressed. Now, let's go ahead and hit the big ones. Vitamin B12. There's no reliable, unfortified plant source for vitamin B12. Low vitamin B12 can mean fatigue, neuropathy, mood changes. Fortified foods help, but supplementation is usually very necessary. Glycine, an amino acid that we can get from animals and few legumes. It's a very important factor in creating glutathione, one of the most important antioxidants of the body. Also important in managing things like schizophrenia, insomnia, stroke, and memory. Okay? Omega-3s. So your flax seeds and your chia seeds, they could supply a good amount of that ALA. But conversion to EPA and DHA is inefficient for many people. So you may have to consider doing an algae-based EPA or DHA. Iron and zinc. Plant sources are non-heme, and they're easily bound to phytates, which lower the absorption. So vitamin C can help you to uptake your iron, and soaking your sprouts could also help you to increase an uptake of your zinc. Choline is another important factor that could be missing. Choline is very important for your brain health, your liver health, your methylation. You might be able to get some of these things from quinoa or broccoli, but for the most part, you're going to find yourself deficient and still need supplementation. Protein is very important too, especially when we're thinking about protein quality in leucine. So the total grams actually matters, but so does the amino acid profile. You'll want to get about 25 to 35 grams per meal of a leucine-rich plant protein. This may be something like pea protein. It may be something like tempeh protein. And this may help to stimulate muscle repair, but you'll still find yourself having to abuse those proteins and give yourself a whole lot of gas just to keep up. Now, plants are amazing, but they also contain components like phytates, oxalates, lectins, and these things can reduce your actual mineral absorption, and they can actually irritate sensitivities within your gut when they're in high intakes. Phytates, what they actually do is they bind to minerals. So soaking your sprouts and fermenting may be helpful for you. Oxalates can be found in spinach and almonds and beets. They can irritate some people, especially with gut issues. So easy swap would be to swap these for kale or arugula and an assortment of different nuts. This doesn't mean these foods are bad, but it does mean that preparation and rotation actually does matter, especially if you're already seeing these minerals becoming low or you're having gut dysfunction. Now, fiber is important too, because sometimes you can overload in fiber. If you've heard of a high FODMAP, jumping from 10 grams of fiber to 40 grams overnight can cause all kinds of stress and cramps and bloating, and you want to build up this gradually. Consider cooking your food as much as possible, and not consuming too much raw cruciferous. Low FODMAPs would be very, very important to swap to during these flares. Now, proteins to carbs. So many vegetarians, their plates are skewed with carb-heavy meals. Now, without enough protein and fat, you can see this mid-afternoon crash and cravings and poor recovery from your workouts. So that's really important to think about too. Another thing to think about is ultra-processed vegan foods. So plant-based cookies, nuggets, desserts, these can be high in refined oils, sugars, and additives. So you want to make sure that if you're going to do this, you're going to have whole foods or whole plants, which would be very, very healthy for your body and a lot less harmful, like the packaged goods that you might occasionally consume. Your thyroid is important too. Cruciferous goitrogens are mostly concerned when iodine is low and veggies are raw in large amounts. Athletes, you need higher protein. You have to give attention to leucine and creatine. Vegan-friendly supplements, they do exist, but you need large amounts just to keep up. Pregnancy in kids. So B12 is a non-negotiable. Also, watch for iron, watch for DHA, iodine, choline, vitamin D. This also supports their growth for the mom and for the baby. So these are the lab markers that are worth keeping an eye on and tracking. So a smart vegetarian plate is data-driven. We definitely want to observe the labs as often as we can. Labs may include glutathione, homocysteine, B12 with a methylmalonic acid or homocysteine, your iron panel like ferritin, transferrin, saturation, vitamin D, zinc, iodine, thyroid panel, TSH, free T3, free T4, your omega-3 index, your fasting insulin, your glucose, your A1C, and your CRP for inflammation. Now, not everyone needs all of these, but if your symptoms are creeping up, then it's time to start testing instead of guessing. Now, how are we going to build a resilient vegetarian plate? First, we're going to anchor our meal with about 25 to 35 grams of protein. This could be in your beans, this could be in your seeds. Also, we're going to add healthy fats like olive oil, like avocado, like tahini, or walnuts. We also want to include vitamin C with our iron-rich meals. We want to cook and prep high phytate and oxalate foods. They must be cooked. And we want to make sure that we're rotating our greens and our nuts. We want to supplement with strategy, like our B12. Consider EPA or DHA through algae, or vitamin D, iodine, and possibly choline and iron-based foods. So what is the Harmony Way? At In Harmony Functional Medicine, we work with the vegans, the vegetarians, the omnivores, the pescatarians, and our goal is to help you to optimize your nutrition and to never shame you. We start with a personalized intake process, which includes targeted labs, and then we build a plan that works for you, for your preferences, and also for your biological needs. Now, as always, if this is you, reach out, ask how we can help.